Yo, what's good everyone? So I kind of just wanted to talk about the recent kind of update to the online tournament mode, specifically the 1v1 online tournament in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and it seems to be going down a path that doesn't really seem to make much sense to me, but again, we'll talk about it more. If you're new to this channel, you'll know that I have done a video in the past specifically talking about online tournaments and how they can improve on them and, make tournaments online a little bit better for everyone involved in both the competitive scene and the casual scene. But it seems like Sakurai and his team acknowledged an issue that was something I had brought up in that video, and I think their way of fixing it was the wrong way of trying to fix it, because I feel that it misses the point entirely in what makes a competitive tournament work. Now, I do want to preface this by saying I'm not expecting online 1v1 tournaments to be exactly the way tournaments are run in the actual competitive scene, mostly because a lot of tournaments kind of disagree on what stages can be legal and like stuff like that. So I feel like having a very, I guess, easy to understand online tournament mode is kind of more important in this regard, because it's not like Sakurai is going to be, hardcore checking out Twitter to make sure that he knows what stages the American side thinks is legal versus the Japanese side and all the little, tournaments in between, right? So I don't think it's ideal for them to do that. However, I do want to go over the new 1v1 online tournament rules. Okay, so obviously the format would be 1v1. It is one stock at 2 minutes and 30 seconds with no final smash meter, no items, and the stages are basically any FD version of any stage. Now, if you've played online 1v1 tournaments before, it might sound mostly familiar to you. That is because that the only really big difference, I suppose, is that they changed stock from 2 stocks to 1. And there was an issue that the online 1v1 tournaments had, in that 9 times out of 10 you would fight characters that won't die that quickly, or you'll fight characters who just camp and just wait at one side, and very often, regardless of what happens during the fight, even if 2 people are actually just fighting the entire time, you would go into sudden death. I think Sakurai and his team kind of saw that happening very often and decided to make the change to have it 1 stock to avoid constant sudden death. I mean, it happens all the time. I'm sure if you guys play online tournament mode in general, the entire video that I have right now that has the gameplay going on is entirely based on this new 1v1 tournament rule set. And if you've seen past videos while I use gameplay, they use tournament mode, and the reason for that is that it's just very easy to get gameplay, and it's just very quick. However, the main issue, right, was the sudden death. The sudden death happened all the time, and it was very easy. And again, I play online tournament very often. It's very easy for someone to play someone like Sonic or someone heavy like Bowser and just either run away the entire game or just sort of survive due to having heavies on the game. It just became very easy to survive the 2 minutes and 30 seconds with 2 stocks, so you always got sudden death. Now I can kind of confirm I haven't had any sudden deaths whatsoever with 1 stock, but the problem is that the problem wasn't that we had too many stocks. The problem is that your time limit at 2 minutes and 30 seconds is remarkably low. It's super low. For the longest, even there's like maybe 1 rule or maybe 2 rules that seem to be more or less universal when it comes to Smash Brothers all over the planet, right? Regardless if you're playing in Japan, Europe, the United States, Latin America, wherever you go, that it is always 3 minutes. 3 stocks, 7 minutes. That's it. The stages people argue about whether or not, Lylat is like a very well-known example of people arguing about that, but 3 stocks and 7 minutes has always been the thing. Maybe I don't know, maybe like the first week people were doing Smash 4 rules where they had 2 stocks in like 5 minutes or so, but that was like, rolled out like almost immediately. So I think if there's anything from the competitive like the actual competitive scene that Sakurai and his team can acknowledge and learn from. It's that, because it's super consistent throughout the board that is the rule set for Smash. The only time it actually gets a little, you know, arguable is, again, the stage selection, and that's kind of it. Unless you're Australian and Hero is put into question, but that's neither here nor there. The main point I'm trying to make is that this new rule set completely goes in the opposite direction. This doesn't make 1v1 tournament mode better, it makes it worse. Sure, you got rid of the problem of sudden death, but now everyone has just one chance to do anything. You can't really have comebacks if one person is just way ahead and you only have one stock, and games go by way too quick. I don't know if that was the intention. Like, I don't know if they wanted to have one stock to make games quicker, so that way people don't wait as much for their next game. But that's, I don't know. The way I feel, a 1v1 tournament implies that you're playing because you want to be competitive, right? And considering that the description of online 1v1 tournament mode says, quote, a one-on-one tournament on Omega Form stages with no items, fight your way to the top. It kind of implies that it is a very competitive mindset going into this. It's kind of like For Glory, but, you know, just in tournament mode. So the way I look at it, it just seems like it's going in the opposite direction. Competitive players, I'm pretty sure, are perfectly fine with waiting a little bit longer to get actual, you know, at least something a lot closer to competitive rules. I don't understand that decision. If it really was to make things quicker, or maybe to just give it a sudden death. If you want to give it a sudden death, use the rule set the entire planet has been using. And if it's really to make games quicker, trust me when I say competitive players are going to be totally okay with waiting a little bit longer, just so they can have fair matches online. Don't do that. That I don't know. This decision doesn't make any sense to me, and I don't really see the point of it. So I'll just leave it at that. You guys, let me know how you feel about it. You know, comment down below. Maybe you feel that this isn't really that big of a deal. Maybe you're someone who plays, you know, the 1v1 tournaments really often, and you really don't like this change like I don't. But yeah, let me know regardless how you feel about it. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one.